a castle, or a button. You can manifest anything, but I'm going to talk to you about why we don't do that and what does it mean you can just manifest a castle or a button. How does that work? This is quantum physics, but I'm going to talk about how it works here in our world because more than ever, we need to tap into that amazing, mind-blowing, cray-cray power that you wield. Let's get ready. I'm going to show you how. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube. Here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. I had my coffee already. Woo! Okay, because you know I'm always a little woo-woo. Anyways, having fun. It's a blustery day here in Atlanta, Georgia. I love this state. I love this city. I love my life, even though I too have challenges. I want to talk to you about what this is. None of us really has the answer, but I'm going to share with you my ideas and feelings and experience that could help you to break through all the barriers that are here right now, that you believe are here right now, that could possibly stop you from starting to create that life. We all have struggles, and I want to talk about the power of manifesting on that super, super high frequency. Now, as of this video, tomorrow, which is Saturday, the 25th, from 9 a.m. Eastern Time to noon, I'm teaching Shift into Miracles. Okay, what does that mean? I'm starting to do more advanced classes. Now, you can sign up for that. You can go to down here. There's a discount code. You can go to landriaonkka.com. What I'm doing now with you, and I'm going to do it in this video so that you understand what we're going into right now. The veils are coming down. What does that mean? That means that all the things, and this is really what it is, everything's energy. So the power and the energy that we have put out there is a manifestation of our beliefs. Centuries of control and manipulation of egos and lower frequencies have created an energy that we've carried through for generations. That energy doesn't go away. So when you come down on this planet, there is an energy within the planet itself that's much more intense. And you feel it, so you're participating in it. You have agreed to do that. Let's start with that. You have agreed to participate in this. Now, if you right now say, no, I didn't, I did. Okay, right. Okay, this is probably not your video because I'm going to empower you. All right, you want to be empowered? Stick around. All right, by the way, if your videos freeze up, YouTube told me it's a traffic issue, mostly on mobile and YouTube, because everybody's watching these videos because we're home right now. All right. Are you taking responsibility for everything? Second of all, are you recognizing that everything that's happening is an amazing freaking opportunity for you to evolve? So if something goes wrong in your life or you think it's going wrong, you know, you were naming it that. If you're not seeing that as an absolute opportunity to learn and evolve, when things feel bad, it's because something's out of balance, which is what's happening to the planet right now. We have ordered this. I don't love my job. I don't love the systems. I don't like to see, you know, homeless people. By the way, we have hotels now here putting the homeless people up. Yay. I hope it stays that way, right? Let's help them get on their feet and to find that pathway. Let's help one another. We have the opportunity to do that now because we ordered something so unique that we are now able to choose different lifestyles. Now, here's the deal. We all agree to participate in this. As a collective consciousness, we are ordering the pathway, the future of the planet, but you also have an individual reality that you get to choose. Now, I want to talk about the castle or the button. Remember that we are just experiencing things. We're experiencing the dark and the lightness and what we are and what does it feel like to have loss? What's it feel like to be abused or to abuse? And then we are actually experiencing these things. And I know, let's not go into this. Let's not go, we can control that, right? We as a collective can end all of it. But individual energies, individual experiences of the one of which we all are, is still going into those spaces. And that's ending because we're raising the frequency. It starts with you. So you can't look out here and want that to change and evolve yourself, because that's you saying it's not okay. Your journey is not okay. It should be the way I think it is. And that person may require or have ordered to go through something, to go through the illness, to even maybe leave the planet. Nobody dies. Can we get over this? Hey, listen, torture and abuse is not acceptable. And we have to step up for that too. Accept the fact that there is something at the root of that, and that's what we must, as a collective, heal, right? If we want to raise the frequency. So what's behind that? We can't just patch everything. What's below this? You know, the war on drugs hasn't helped anything, because you can't battle something and expect to heal it or improve on it. You have to go under here. And by the way, I have the feeling that drug thing's not so happening right now. Opiates are being killed. They're not being able to make it in China right now. All these, I think that's the #1 death here in the United States is opiate addiction. That's crazy. We're living in this world and accepting it, and we're putting that stuff in our bodies. It's time to go in now, not with drugs, but to say, I have the power of the universe now. I'm going to tell you something right now. Why do we say it's just as easy to create a castle as a button? The universe, unlike human beings, does not judge. Why? The highest frequency of which we all come from and will always return back to and maybe go back again and do other things is unconditional. So if you are not unconditionally loving even the worst form of a human being out there, then you are not adhering to that which we are given. And we've been told this over and over again, right? These things you shall do in more ye are all gods. And guess what? What Christ said on the cross, they know not what they do. We were loved, even as he was being killed. I'm not going to go into religion, but he's a prophet. He was a powerful one. There are many, many others who have come here to pave the way and show, listen, here's the power to heal yourself. And you can do all of this. Now, here is, and this is the thing I must emphasize most with you, and that is when things do go wrong, there's a reason for it. It's not just popped up and it shouldn't be here. Face it. This is why I say breakthrough fear. We don't go, I don't want this. We go into it. We go into it. So those of you who've had physical ailments, I actually have had I've had videos where we go straight into it. I have you actually focus on the pain. And every single person that has written me, I don't know the rest, I wouldn't know what their experience is, but has told me it subsided, and some have told me it healed. Why? It's not an enemy anymore. When you see it as an enemy, you create an enemy that's going to battle you. Not because it has a mind of its own, but because you are ordering that. The same thing with desiring wealth, desiring abundance, desiring whatever. Now here's the deal. When we go for the castle, very few people actually believe they can do it. And therefore, that's what you are ordering. This is why if you take my 9 principles, prosperity principles course, it's 1 year. You get to go through the prosperity principles, a 3-hour class, and then you go into a private group. Why? Because I know we have to monitor this. Because I know people will name stuff and they really don't believe it. And that's why most people don't go into prosperity. They don't believe it. So they order something that's unbelievable. They order the castle. They don't really believe it. So they keep ordering. I really can't have this. I really can't have this. A button? Yeah. They kick the button on the street. Okay, I can get a button. But a castle? I want the castle. I want the castle. And the whole communication right here is, I can't have it. This is cray-cray. This is woo-woo stuff. How many mantras do I have to say? 0. Why? You just know it. Ask, not and it is given, because there's nothing outside of you. There's nothing separate from you. Ask and know it is done. Did you know that's the original interpretation of the Bible? Was, and you know, I'm going to refer back to Greg Brayton. They actually researched this. It's actually ask and know it is done. Doesn't that make more sense? In other words, boom, I'm not asking, praying, and that's lack, I don't have it, I don't, please. And we always, you know, we wait till we're in a desperate situation before we do that. If things are not going well in your life the way you want them to, ask yourself, what's the imbalance here that must be corrected to be that person who is abundant, who is relaxed, who handles things that come along and doesn't freak out about it. Because when I freak out, I'm not getting the fact that there's an experience here, there's a value here. And this is what we're missing. Human beings, they don't want anything to not be the way they want it to be because the ego is totally in control. It's a lower frequency. The higher frequency, and this is what I'm teaching in Shift into Miracles, we're going to go into that. I'm actually going to spend about an hour with you going into the practices and saying, okay, what does this feel like? Because you know how this feels, right? So a castle or a button, if you don't believe you can do the castle, order the button. And practice creating that. All right, I'll practice getting enough money to pay my electricity bill, right? Yeah, I can do that. What's your electricity bill? I don't know what mine is. I don't even pay attention. Let's say it's $100. Nah, that's pretty high. All right, let's say it's $100. Yeah, I can do $100. So all of a sudden, somebody calls. I actually did this with a friend. I said, I don't want you worrying about your utilities. Don't be telling me that you lose sleep over the utilities. You call me and I will pay that bill. Why? She didn't ask me for it. But I know she's an amazing person, that if she gets in that situation, I'm going to be there for her, and somebody's going to do that for you. Somebody's going to say, Bob or Sally, or are you able to pay your utility bill? Don't worry, I'm going to pay that for you. Now, you have to ask. And that means you have to order this to the universe. And it may not be physically asking for it. So let's say you send that message out. But the other thing, too, is some of you aren't physically asking for help. There are people that will help you. If you're struggling financially right now, there are people that will help you. Reach out to them. Put the pride aside. We're all in the same boat. Right? We are in the same boat. Some of us have made different choices along the way that have put us in a better position than others. You guys see this all the time? Guess what? Anybody who thought this was a joke? This is internet training. We have an amazing special going on right now to help people. It's not such a joke anymore. Those people online are flourishing. Why? Because we're all online. And that's the way I kept saying, this is the way of the world. Don't get stuck into where you are, where you're just saying, oh, I'll go back to the way it was. It's never going to go back. Yay! Woo! I'm asking you right now to start knowing that you can create the castle. And then when you go into that space, you will help change the planet, because now you are saying to the universe, I am in control of my reality. I am empowered. Now, this is the thing. This is the critical point of creating a castle over a button. You cannot be the person acting the same way and get the castle. You have to be the king or queen. You have to be that person who's at peace with being the king or queen. Not, oh, I'm going to be an ass, you know, and no. We want to go into that space where we know it's done and be at peace. So a lot of people, they go, oh, I know it's done, and then they're still freaking out about stuff. If you really knew it was done, you wouldn't act that way. So ask yourself, if you really knew you had the castle, would you be acting this way? How does that person act? You absolutely create with your focus. How many videos have I had on this, right? How many videos? And you guys who really are into science, you can go search those because I'm not a scientist, but I do know and watch videos on science projects, experiments. It's not woo-woo, it's not made up. Your focus is creating. When do you start believing that? When do you know that if you, let's start with the button. Let's practice how this works. And then you go, whoa, that was easy. Well, so okay. All you have to do is duplicate that with something else. And that means a button's no big deal. So you don't, like, okay, yeah, I can have that. If you thought that way about the castle would show up. And here's what we as human beings have a tendency to want to control the situation. When, how, who. The love of my life has to be her. You will love me. You will love me. That's really cray-cray. That's a lower frequency ego trying to control other people's free will. It doesn't work, by the way. It's always going to backfire on you. Why? Because it's lower frequency. We don't want it to come from there. You want to allow free will from others. You say, okay, I desire the best relationship that's amazing for both of us. Who's that person? Because what if you got who you wanted and it wasn't good because it really wasn't what they wanted, and then they were unhappy and it turned out to be horrible? But that's still an experience you're going to learn from, right? Nothing is a failure, truly. But we don't want to keep going through this stuff. You can create the castle. You have to go through this and break through the fear. If you guys want to take Breakthrough Fear, all my courses are down there. Well, not down in the descriptions. Some of my courses are down there with coupons, discounts, just for you. You go to my site, you won't see them. You go in there, use that discount code, take the courses that'll help you get through it. And you have 1 year access unlimited. Take it over and over and over and over. Most of them are 3 hours, and we go through this. We go through it. You got to recondition yourself, because the collective consciousness has been, you should stay down here, because the masses are controlled by a small percentage of people who feel that they need to do that to have the money and the control and the power. If we have all the money, we can control everybody. And it works. That's changing. That's changing. So guess what? What do you want to do with your life? Where do you want to direct your focus? How do you want to earn? Get off money. Say, I want to love my life. I love what I do. I work 24/7. I can't get enough of it. I get to write, and I've published books. I published another one, the 9 Principles, Prosperity Principles Journal I just published. I have several books coming out. I love to write, but I have internet businesses. But I don't just do that to make money so I can write. Those bring value to people, help people to get trained online, and help people to change their lives. And I get paid for that. And if you have a problem with that, then you're not understanding that there is an exchange of value. And that if you want to make money, then you should want those people to make money. All those people that work on these projects and create all this stuff need to get paid too. So get out of this, they shouldn't make money, and CEOs, multi-billion-dollar companies doing crap to our planet make a boatload of money. So you can make a boatload of money doing something really good, because you're going to come from it, come into it in a higher frequency, wanting to give value. Don't be buying toilet paper and jacking up the price and reselling it. Super low negative. Money, money, money. How about giving to people something that's really positive on a higher frequency? You receive money, they're happy. I'm happy to pay somebody that gives me value. Oh my gosh, I do that all the time. I invest in my education. That's a mindset of a castle. People in castles, they invest in themselves all the time. So if you're thinking lack, I shouldn't have to pay for this, then great. Your order of the universe is you shouldn't have to pay for anything, thus you won't receive anything. Fine. You want to stay there? But I'm telling you something. You can change that. Castle or button. You get to choose. Start with what you can believe in. Know it is done. And start to ask yourself, what thought is coming in there? What thought? Don't fight it. Battle nothing. What, you battle it, you focus it, right? You're focusing on it. So we sit here and say, there is a thought that is conditioning. So somebody said, but it keeps popping up, what do I do? And I said, just keep going. But recognize it, because what we do is we react to it. Oh, it feels bad. Oh no, I don't want to think that. Yes, but you are. It's okay. It's okay. There's conditioning coming through. That's not who I am. That veil's coming down. What's the veil? The veil are the limiting thoughts that we have thought for centuries. We're not believing it anymore. We're awakening. What's awakening? We're just aware that we're none of those things. We're powerful. Your psychic abilities are going to increase. You're going to notice a lot of maybe physical changes. You're going to possibly not want to go back and do what you did for a living. You want to get trained? Come on over. This is a free information, free workshop videos. You'll get pelted with enough more information than you ever wanted in your life. You'll get to decide if this is for you. Look at your options and quit naming and, quit judging these things. If you want to open up the gateways, you got to put the judgment up. If you don't want something, don't do it. You don't want to pay for something, don't pay for it. But we're always judging. This is how it should be. No, it's how you want it to be for you. And you don't have to believe a damn thing I say. But if you do, you'll create unlimited manifesting capabilities, because that's really what you are. So, come join me for one of my classes tomorrow, 9 a.m. It's live. If you can't do the live class or whatever, you go in and use that code, you'll get it, and within 24 hours you'll get the 3-hour replay of Shifting into Miracles. And those of you who are watching this after the 25th, well, guess what? It's posted as a recording, unlimited, that you'll have access to for a year. You know what? It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any better than that. I don't know what else I can do for you, because you hold all the power. Not me, you do. I hold my power for me. And my power and my choice is to raise my frequency so that you benefit from it, but you still get to make a choice. What's your choice? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Oh, I didn't look at myself before I shot this video. I'll go do that. Hey, I'm going to run it no matter what. So, I love you guys. You're beautiful, amazing. I wish you knew what you were. When we go to the other side, we go, oh, my, you told me and I didn't believe it. I'm going to say, look at the things you could have done. And you kept telling yourself some cuckoo story, right? You're amazing. Abundance, health, wealth, awakening. Namaste.